Hello everybody, my name is G Money. I hope you're doing well. I just hit my head, or not really hit, like a cabinet fell on my head before I started this recording, so I may be a little out of it. It wasn't a grave injury or anything, and I'm okay, but that's the reason. Welcome to the Stanley Parable Part 3. That's right, I'm still doing this series. I didn't forget about it because I've been playing Balatro so much. I don't know if I'm going to do another Balatro video. It's so much suffering and pain and all of that. I hope this game saved my progress because I remember doing this when I first booted it up. Well, I think like that. Yeah. So, oh, that's right. Last one, he said he would do more sliders for me. Oh, oh, that's so cute. Number 9. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. No, no. Is that 9? I don't know my Roman numerals. It might be. Let me go through the other ones. There we go. Just want to see the other options. That's fun. That's fun. So the reason I haven't been doing a video as recently as I normally do is because I started playing some games that I'm not going to record, I'm just going to play through, and I might give my feedback on them. I will give my feedback on them as I play them through the podcast. So if you don't know about that, definitely go check it out. They're always linked in the descriptions of this YouTube video. I also have a Discord, also linked in the description of all of my YouTube videos. Feel free to join if you want. Feel free to listen to the podcast, but there's no pressure, of course. The games I've been playing are Death Stranding, which I'm not going to say too much about it because this video is about the Stanley Parable, not that game, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you want to hear me rant and talk about those, definitely go check out the podcast. Next episode, they usually come out weekly. Didn't have one last week because of stuff. Let's continue. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing? Scrumptious or Ocuboinkle? I like Scrumptious. Scrumptious is really funny. Okay. I won't. Do you know what time it is right now? 7:11. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? I hope so. Yeah? Depends on what you mean by correct time. What is time? See, that's a very philosophical question. Time is really just a construct of our imaginations to keep our world in check. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? I mean, yeah, I guess so. There's some stuff. You haven't asked, though, so. These messages are getting rather eerie. Help? No, I'm good. You can suffer through that alone. Will I come back to visit you? Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Stanley Parable Part 4, so yes, I will come back to visit you. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I don't have I know about one ending that I want to get to.
This is the story of a man.
Yeah, I've done that. But I don't, right now for this specific video, I don't really know if there's a path I want to take.
What could it mean?
I'll just try to do the first thing that I haven't done differently than I have done the previous times. So I'll try to cut through this quickly. There has been some feedback, I'll do this one. There has been some feedback that my videos are not edited. I'm uploading these directly from my PlayStation. I will try to start editing. I'm waiting on a laptop to do that. I really do want to edit these videos and make them higher quality and make them better. Oh, I haven't done this. Alright, great, we're at the first change. But yeah, I do want to make my videos higher quality and add edits so there's not so much blank space in between them. So keep in mind that is coming. Please stick with me. I'll do my best to improve every video. And yeah, I'll start focusing on the gameplay now instead of ranting. Oh, that's ominous.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he
It's
taken
true.
that risk?
It's the first car
All
I've seen.
because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
It's true.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Am
All
I?
of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a
That's
single
true.
moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
That makes
And as
sense.
Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Why is
For
there a narrator
example,
talking?
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I didn't notice that
Doors
before.
closed automatically behind him wherever he went.
Why do they
And for
open
that
automatically?
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were
That's
they
true.
simply repeating? No,
Oh, I haven't been
Stanley
going
said
through.
to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Oh.
This is all a dream.
Of course.
Relief, Stanley
Oh.
felt, to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job.
Of course not.
He wasn't crazy after
I'm
all.
not
He
crazy.
thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well
It's
enjoy
not
this
boring,
while
it's
I'm
very
still lucid.
fulfilling.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, wow.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
This isn't
How was
space.
he remaining so
That's creepy.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
What if it wasn't?
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself.
What if
sooner.
what if I'm
Why
awake?
is there a voice in my head
I knew it.
dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly
That is strange. Huh, I'm no
Voice
expert.
Describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
I'm thinking
And
that.
when he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be?
Wow, this is a
Was
very
Stanley
long
simply
narration.
deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
That's true.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Of
Did
course.
the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
How would-
This voice
Yeah,
was a
narrator,
part of
you got
himself
some
too.
questions to answer.
Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He
I
would
would-
prove that he was in control. That this was a dream.
I can feel it.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Oh, I thought
He
I was
felt
gonna.
the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
I don't know if I'm actually
Let
feeling
me
that.
wake up. he thought
This
to
game
himself.
isn't that
I'm
immersive.
through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
It's true.
I
That's
want
all
my
I really
apartment
want.
and my wife.
Yes,
my
my
job.
wife.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
It's true.
My life is normal. I am normal.
I am normal. Everything is
Everything
gonna
will
be
be
fine. That's true. That's how I wake myself up.
Okay.
Nope, still in the dream. I mean, the not dream.
Stanley began screaming.
Ah!
Please, someone wake me up.
Ah!
My name is Stanley.
Ah!
I have a boss. I have an office.
I'm real.
I'm real. Please, just someone tell me I'm
Ah!
real. I must
Oh,
be real.
that's
I must be.
ominous.
Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Interesting.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got
Was
dressed,
Stanley just
gathered her
someone in a
belongings,
dream?
and walked to her place of work.
Oh, goodness
But on this
gracious.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through
Oh, I was
town,
sleeping.
and screaming to himself, and then
Oh.
collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was
That's
obviously crazy. This much she knew.
crazy.
Everyone knows.
Oh
what
my
crazy people
goodness.
And in that
Rest in
moment,
peace, poor
she thought
Stanley.
to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
We're all in the Matrix.
I know what is real and what isn't.
This game is trying to
It was
convince us to
comforting think
leave.
this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then
I get
she
that.
remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Makes
She had
sense?
no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Wow.
And then she turned.
Gotta get back on the grind. Well, that's certainly an ending. Alright. I didn't expect that one to be so quick.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I
What
guess...
could it mean?
Man,
Stanley
that was
decided
that
to
was
go to the meeting.
some of these are
Perhaps
really
he had simply
creepy.
missed a memo.
I mean, I thought this game was excuse me? Now we're talking.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I want new content. I like new content. Me. I need new content. No, oh, we're not going that one. This is the creepiest roller coaster ride I've ever been on.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I don't think I got all the endings.
The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Cool.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
Whoa.
delighting audiences the world over.
Yay. Awesome.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra
Me too.
Deluxe content.
I cannot wait. I hope it's not
So
some
far it's an elevator.
cheap
Nothing special yet, but I'm
scam
sure
by
it's
the
just the beginning of
higher
a
up bosses.
mesmerizing adventure.
Some disgusting cash grab to strap a $10 price on there.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Fascinating.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I can see the deeper meaning.
Tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content,
wait.
Stanley.
Yes, I want the content.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh. I get to jump. I'm not gonna jump that many times, especially when I can't edit it out.
Is that it?
No, surely there's...
Surely that's not all the
yeah.
new content. There has
There's
to be
second
something
elevator.
else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
You have to let it
It's just
marinate.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content,
Nowadays, yeah.
then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could
right.
count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Dokkan?
Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Me too. I can't wait.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what
That's funny.
happens
That's
when
really
greedy
funny.
video game developers
Ah,
with
it's
no respect for their
disgusting.
fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't
Quick
get me started on the
buck.
level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact,
It's
I'm looking right
shameful.
now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore."
Oh,
What quality
goodness
assurance department
gracious.
signed off on this? I'm infuriated.
Companies
and I'm offended,
these
and I
days.
intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
You
accountable.
cancel them. Yeah,
It's my
cancel
fault,
them.
Stanley. I built up too much anticipation
Yeah.
around the new content, I'm afraid.
You really
it
hyped
could
it up.
never have lived up to such expectations.
You're right.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No
Yeah.
frills, no gimmicks.
Nope.
Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Of
What do you
course.
say, friend?
Why not? Of course. So, quick little tangent. I guess when you go down, that ending is how you get to the new content in the next one? So, I did not know that, and I didn't mean to jump into the bonus content so quickly. I wanted to get most of everything in the main story done first before I did this, but hey, we're here now, so let's just go ahead and do it. Alright, let's get into this. Hey, I know that. That's my office. My old office.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
But... Okay, I suppose. Did he make his own bonus content for me? Oh, he shouldn't have.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Of
got
course.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So
Mhm.
I made something special and tucked it away here
Oh,
where the
you
game's
didn't.
developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Oh, this place looks
Take a
really
look.
old. Oh my
I call
goodness.
it the memory zone. It's where I've been
Aw.
storing all my favorite memories
Aw.
so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Don't forget.
You
Memories,
see,
sweet
Stanley,
memory.
doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013?
Yep, totally
when the
not me
game
playing it on
originally
PlayStation.
launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's a shame, really. Oh wow, won the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Look at all those good times. Buy on pressurized gas? What? I don't remember that. Oh, these are actually kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. That's an achievement? That is hilarious. That's also funny.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was
Never
Persona
played that.
3. It
Never
was
played
all
that.
of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It
Aw.
isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
It's by the
just a
narrator.
husk now. A lifeless husk. with an hour of new elevator content.
I like the elevator content. Why is there so many different paths already? Begin game. Should I go down this or should I go down? I'll stick with it for now. Just some dude.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley?
Wait, what?
The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
That's
All
funny.
they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
That's sad. Oh, the serious room. Oh, what's it like in there? Ah, I guess you have to go down there.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for
Oh
computer
no,
games.
that's what it
I
is.
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Open it.
Surely these reviews
Open
were
it.
glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and
Wow.
unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
I think you're funny, buddy.
Funny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
That's true. It's just so complex. He doesn't understand it. He's just a loser.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? Don't tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did.
That's fair.
But maybe
That's
it
fair.
wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
That's true.
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh,
Like I let
please.
these people down.
People will always find
Perhaps
something to
Stanley
complain
Parable
about.
Isn't quite as sterling
Always.
as I... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
Dang.
Well, yes.
That's
I think I
that
can
cuts
do
deep.
that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Not
Not if
that
it
preachy.
means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Perfect.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's
All
what
right.
the players have been asking. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long,
Oh, that's
monologue
cool.
full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Yaw.
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but
Nope,
if
I
I
don't.
had to describe it, I'd...
Alright, that's enough.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's
I
the
did.
power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless
He's doing it again.
it's right at your fingertips to go, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether
Who's
they'll
Cookie
edit
9?
the reading of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works.
I guess so.
Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who...
Alright, that's enough.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about.
Oh, he's getting lonely.
But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to
Alright.
it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Oh,
Wasn't
that's
there a
not
door
good.
that led into this room?
Just make one, you're the
I don't
narrator.
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't
Yeah.
think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
Buddy,
A
I don't want to
porthole?
skip you,
A
but
sufficiently
you're not giving me
large
much
crack in the
choice.
wall? I'll take
All
it
you do
that
is ramble.
all I want is for us to move on and to please step... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been
Oh,
12
wow.
hours.
12 full hours?
You've
Oh,
just
it's who
been
the lights
frozen
went out.
there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley.
How do you check it? You're the narrator.
There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to
Oh, I
stop
feel
you from
bad for
pressing the
him.
button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're
Yes?
going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those
Yeah,
reviews.
buddy, don't
Those
you dare.
reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
What
Stanley,
happened?
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
That's not
Sitting
that
here all
bad.
the time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would
That's-
you think
yeah, that's
that
true.
It's exactly the same as always. Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because
Why not?
I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley.
Interesting.
Not the outcomes, not the story. None of
So... Uh-oh.
that. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
A
I've never
year?
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year. Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Yeah, he's rambling way too much. Oh, is he dead? Where did he go? Do I just wait for him? Okay, I can't wait forever. Oh, what is that horrible sound?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was
Oh,
meant to
there
have
he
a
is.
point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the
So you're gonna notice I'm here?
unwillingness to examine with an
By my math,
uncompromising
I should have
heart
been
the
gone
words that
for
they are speaking into the
thousands
world.
of years.
As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone...
So you gonna notice I'm here? Hello? I don't know.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Buddy,
is never the end, is never
I'm
the
here.
end, is never the end, is never...
Sorry. Has he just full on ignored me completely? Is he no longer gonna admit I exist? What the heck happened? The water leak? Ah, it's sunny. Boop. How long is this gonna take? How many times do I have to press this button before I get to something interesting? Blink. Wow, that died quickly. That's creepy. That's also creepy. Narrator is just no longer with us. This button's officially not pressable anymore. I guess not. Is this Arrakis? Planet from Dune? Am I Paul Muad'Dib Atreides? Why is this sand whiter than the rest? I have so many questions. When will something interesting happen? I want to make sure the button's not gonna reactivate while I'm... Oh, well, I guess it wasn't gonna. Well, that was certainly an interesting turn of events for that little... I can phase through my chair now. Well, that's the Stanley Parable Part 3. This game is only getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I don't know how much of this is becoming good content and just silent playthrough of the game, since, I mean, in the narrator's, like, in his spiel, he does really talk a lot, and I don't want to talk over him, but I also don't want to ignore what he's saying, so... But I also want to put my own feedback in, so... I guess I'll do one more part of this officially, and then if it doesn't get requested again, then I'll be done. So yeah, that's the Stanley Parable. Part 3, expect one more part where, I don't know, I'll look online and find an interesting thing to do for the little finale of this series. Bye-bye!